So, guys, my name is Fernanda Lages. I'm also a pedagogical consultant for Pearson. So we are the team Fernando and Fernanda. Yes, we go together like a pair of jars. And I'm living my dream of being Madonna for today. So thank you very much for the opportunity. Always wanted to have a microphone attached to my face, and I finally got one. So we're going to talk today a little bit about using creativity in the classroom. But before we start, I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me, okay? Oh, I did something wrong. In a minute, I send this to another person. Okay, so there you go. So I would ask you guys to please add me on WhatsApp, okay? So grab your phones, please have my number. Okay, so 31 because of the Belo Horizonte area code or code area. And my number, please. You can pair with a friend who does. Everybody, see, many people here have their WhatsApps. No, it's my personal phone number. You can invite me to parties later because I don't know what to do in São Paulo with myself. Okay? Fernanda Lages. Since the day I was born. Okay?
Just a second.
So, why exactly? What should you do? Can I change? Have you guys got it? Fernanda, yes. Okay. So, guys, so this is what we are going to do. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, and I would like you to talk to the person sitting next to you and answer this question to me. What is creativity in your opinion? But what is the catch? You guys are going to answer through WhatsApp. So discuss with your partner, type your message, and send it to me. Okay? Yes? So 2 minutes starting now. 2 minutes. Talk to your partners. So from all of you people only get 2 answers? Come on. Oh, the nice gift. So I got a gift. I'm not sure if I want to open. Okay, so let's see. I have got here different ways to teach and a nice gift. Okay. Surprise students, great. Guys, another person has said, creativity has to do with each person's art in a different way. Interesting concept. Each person's art. I like the word choice. Another person has says, adapting and improvising. There we have it. The ability to think outside of the box. Okay, great. So I think everybody's a little bit on the same page, right? Thinking outside of the box, doing things differently, surprising, adapting, improvising. I love the word improvising. And the last one. It is the talent to create something depending. I like this one a lot. It is the talent to create something depending on the situation. I think, this makes me think of like when you go to Toolbox and you find that orange peeler that you have to has something that makes your life easier, or an egg thing that you can eat eggs in the morning that has the shape of an egg that you don't need to spray. So you look like, say, that's such an interesting take on something so trivial. I think this is the creativity part. That's exactly what they're saying here. Okay, Thank you very much. I'll be logging out here from my WhatsApp because otherwise we'll be keep doing this unbearable noise. And let's come back here. Okay, great. Adapting, improvising, thinking outside the box, creating something new, somebody's art. I really like that. So my take on creativity is means a radical shift in the way we do regular things. It's the idea of going exactly this feeling that we get on Toolbox, of things that are so obvious that should be everywhere, but it's not. Because somebody has taken that obvious and trivial thing and transformed into something new and useful and interesting and out of the ordinary. Okay.
This thought is a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. Okay, but we are teachers. And then, what is the deal? We want our students to be creative. We're always saying that we love creative students. Students need to be creative. So how does that envelops in our classrooms, right? Develops from experiences with the process through exploration and discovery, rather than a concern for the finished product. So this is how creativity plays in the classroom. I'm going to ask you a question. You don't need to answer. It's just a thought-provoking question. Do you allow your students to experiment, truly experiment in your classrooms? We say we like creative people, but do we? Imagine having, I don't know, like a Eminem in your classroom. Somebody that is very political, that ask a lot of interesting questions, that provokes you. What do we do with them? Shh, sit there. Don't go. Or imagine a Picasso in your classroom. Can you imagine Picasso doing, I don't know, a fraction in school? Not really, right? Okay. Why is that? Because to be creative, it takes courage. And it requires us to be very courageous in experimenting new things. And because of that, we are bound to make mistakes. If you're experimenting, sometimes it gets right, sometimes it gets wrong. Okay? Do you guys agree with that? Okay. And I think creativity is not a talent or it's not the same as intelligence. It's okay? Do you guys agree with that? So I'm going to give you an example of somebody I think is the true example of this, Einstein. Imagine having an Einstein in your classroom. He was a terrible student. His 5th grade told him, to his mother after struggling with him a little, saying, you might as well take your kid out of school because I have nothing left to teach him. Not because he's too good, but because he's too bad. I have nothing left to teach him. And then he goes, and what does he do? He transformed the way the world we live in. He thought completely outside of the box, because his theory of this is a difficult word to say, relativity, right? Is something very unique. Okay. So I'm going to go with Einstein and say that creativity is not intelligence, but is intelligence having fun. Okay? So guys, I want you to, again, discuss with your peers, but now try to change a little bit, try to talk to the other person from the other direction, from the other activity. So, we are saying here that we love creativity. We want our students to be creative. We are attending a lecture on how to use creativity in the classroom. But on the other hand, we are saying that we ask our students to sit, to be quiet, to not talk, to not do anything wrong. So it's a little confusing what we want. So I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes, and I want you to discuss, okay? Come up with a list of things you think kill creativity in the classroom, or bust creativity in the classroom. So 3 minutes just to discuss and come up with a list. What kills creativity in the classroom and what bursts and makes creativity flow, lights creativity in the classroom. Okay? So 3 minutes is starting now, please. Exactly. And also sometimes, I agree. So there's a good technique for that when you have a very good question or something, but it's not completely on the topic. So you tell that you're going to put on the freezer, so you can have a piece of once you can write on a notebook, and if you have a big group, you can write on a piece of paper called the freezer. So whenever you can, you go back to the question. So it's not lost. It's just there, waiting. It will come back when it's more appropriated. So this is very good. Anybody else can tell me what they have discussed? So let me tell you guys some of the things that I believe, thank you, kills and makes creativity flow, right? When we assign grades, we kind of kill creativity. Agreed? Or disagreed? Yeah. Necessary? Yes. Creative? Not really. However, if we provide informative feedback, it's a little better. What does it mean to get a 5? What does it mean to get a 7? When you have something to explain that grade, then you have a little more space to grow. Okay. Praise neatness and conformity. So we do that a lot. Please be seated, please be quiet, please don't do that, don't take your shoes, don't wear this kind of clothes, we're always trying to control, right? Okay, on the other hand, maybe we could praise expressive original work or original thoughts. Okay, make suggestions. What would be the difference of making suggestions? Asking open questions. Instead of saying, "What, do that," or "I think you should do that," say, what is your thinking process? Why do you ask me that question? What is the road you want to take? Or just a couple of questions, or even bigger questions that could be like, what makes a human unique and not an animal? Or what is the difference between, right? What makes us humans unique? These are open questions. Instead of asking, go and research about the homo whatever name that we had in the past before we were human beings. Okay, just an example. Okay, another one. When you give the answer instead of teaching problem-solving methods. Another one. Tell your students there's just one right way to do things. When we know that if you allow students to explore and find new approaches, they may arrive to different and new answers to that problem or that question. So I think to allow creativity to flow, we have to let go a little bit of our control as teachers. Is it difficult? Some depends on your personality as a teacher. Is it worth it? Definitely. Definitely. Okay, so how can we do some of those things? So I've been taking this from the Essential Teacher Knowledge from Jeremy Harmer. He is a wonderful book. If you guys don't know, please check it out. Maybe, I don't know if there's here, but we can see. So you can vary the patterns of interaction. So instead of just doing pairs or just doing teacher to students, you can vary the way they are in the classroom or this, right? Who they talk to, using strategies like colors, put colors in the desk so they can change, or assigning letters or assigning numbers so they can move around in the classroom and not talk to the same people all the time. Correction technique. So one day you can do peer correction. The other day you can put the correction on the board. The other day you can put the correction on the computer. The other day, you can ask them to correct themselves. Change the seating arrangement. So sometimes you do a half moon. Sorry? Sometimes you do a half moon, sometimes you can do a row, sometimes you can do little small groups like this bottom one here. Maybe groups change towards the board. And change a little bit the way your classroom looks. Decorate the walls with meaningful charts. This is something that it bugs me in a way that, like, it puzzles me, I think is a better word. Whenever you see a classroom, of course, I'm talking about kids' education, but I think it applies to all kinds. Whenever I see a footage of a classroom in the United States, all the walls, they have a lot of meaningful charts. Word walls, they have synonyms and antonyms, they have the rules, they have, you can see all kinds of walls. But here we get into the classrooms and the walls are pretty much blank. You may have one, you may have two, okay? So for example, this is a great way to allow creativity to flow, is to make room for visual reflections. So you have this exercise that is called the best thing I learned today is. They have to think and come up with an answer. Or even the wonder wall. What I wonder about that topic before we start studying? What are my previous questions? Or even a goal, this timeline. So every month you can ask your student to think of a goal for himself or herself. It doesn't need to be the most impossible thing. It can be very simple. A song that he wants to understand the lyrics. Achievable. But then if I put this on the wall and they think, they will be working towards that goal. How? In the way they want. Because it's going to be their goal, not ours. Okay. Have classes in different places, use background music, this one I love a lot, use technology, and use different activities. So, on the words of Einstein, it is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. That being said, we are going to do some activities ourselves. Okay? So this is the part where you start to say goodbye to your sittings because you may change them. Just may. I'm going to leave nice and vague. Okay. So I'm going to ask you guys, okay? I'm going to give you some numbers and I want you to change. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can be another 5. Okay? So 1 with 1, 2 with 2, 3 with 3, 4 with 4, 5 and 5. Okay? Oh, you're not there. So you can do with her. Yes, you guys do together. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So go meet your pairs, please. Okay?
One is here. One is here. One here.
Okay. Yay! Sit, please, sit. Just. You can sit down, just sit next to your number. There's only 2, 3. There's only 2, 3. Okay? Okay. Now that we have new partners, and we are not in our comfort zone anymore, which is always good, Even though it doesn't feel like that sometimes. Yes, of course, you can sit there. Okay? This is the activity we are going to do. Okay? It's called How Are You Doing Today? So, can I have a volunteer to help me? Can you be my volunteer? Yes? Okay. So what is going to play? He is going to ask me these questions that are here, or others if you want. And he is going to try to realize what mood I am today. Today I'll be suspicious. Okay, but you guys can choose other moods. You can be happy, you can be tired, you can be... Okay, but I'll be suspicious. He doesn't know that. I have not told you. Don't know that I'm suspicious. Okay? So, can you ask me the question, please? What do you want to know?
Where are you from?
I come from Belo Horizonte. Why?
How are you doing today?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
What are you doing this afternoon?
You're asking me too much questions. Okay? Got it? Okay. Thank you very much for being my volunteer. So, for the sake of time, we're going to have one person being the moody one and one being the asking the questions. If you're doing this in your groups, you could just swap them at some point. Okay? And you can choose different kinds of moods. So those are just an example. For that, guys, I will give you 5 minutes. Okay? Have you pick your mood? Choose who is going to be the person asking the question. Can I come back to the last? And those are the questions you can ask. You can ask others, but just to give you some examples. Okay? Are we good to go? So, 1, 2, 3, and go. 5 minutes. Now, you have to discover what mood he is. Just that, yeah.
I'm from Brazil. Thanks for asking.
Yes, yes, yes. You finished? Okay. Have you find out his mood? Yes? Is your voice really that deep? Your voice is really deep. You don't want to cuss too much, comment. It's a beautiful voice. Okay, has everybody figured out their partners? Yes? So, tell me, you guys, who was asking the questions? No, I'll ask you, talk to you in a minute.
He's up to the suicide point.
Oh, that's horrible. How about you girls? Who was asking the questions? And what was she?
She was boring, she was sad.
She was boring.
Yeah, she was also suspicious about it.
She was a lot of things. She was.
Yeah, I've told her I came here to attend a lecture, not to make friends.
Okay. How about you, guys? Who was asking the questions back there?
Asking, and I was just playing the very excited one.
Ah, good. So you're excited. Okay. So, guys, what do you think about this activity? Does it make... I was hearing laughter. So you guys are enjoying yourselves? A nice icebreaker? Great. Are you feeling a little more creative? I saw you are doing a very good impersonation of the shy person. Great. Okay. Okay. So I'm actually going to skip this one. I'm going to move exactly to this one. Okay, good. Thank you very much. This was the craziest conversation two people were having. Right? Makes no sense. But